Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Who am I but a Dre Mac? Came into the game just to spit facts. Into the space that I'm in. They got me by the Drake cause I'm cold with the pen. I find no diamonds but I still shine. You can dig me cause my boy's mine. My tracks flame like a dilute. I order blood on my tongue. These niggas warm blue. I'ma throw with a gas leak. Camouflage in the mist, but you smell me. One spark, then I bet you I'ma blow up. They throw my name around, get stupid, then you go dumb. No rest for the weary. My bitch is thinking in his man, but you can't see me. You rather drink than go pull up. I'm drinking knife through the game, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. I came to eat at the a la carte. Got stripped of a bear, come be brainstorm. Then I come together like a Voltron. Then I poured all the plaques, you Decepticons. Fake rappers that retreat like Cobra. 80s they get floated like up in the storage and I'm E-man. Up, down, down, man, I'm cheeky. You a beast, man, I take a beating. Ninja Turtle rap, turtle plans to defeat it. High samurai, you can call me Night Rider. You can never stop me, cause I'm a guy bomb. Bad attitude like a rocket, my whole to the A. And I bet you can't stop us. LL bad, when I go and show up, you can hear the haters in the back. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie. Let me get him where I fit in, homie.
This is a test. This station is conducting a test of the emergency broadcasting system. This is only a test.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Dre Mac, coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show, 7:30 in the morning Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. You're from the West Coast right now. Go ahead and get up because you already know, if you don't know, that the early bird gets the worm. And on today, I'm going to talk about how now they're still blaming Jonathan Majors about Marvel's failures. He ain't got nothing to do with that. But yet, people are finding ways to blame Jonathan Majors for this. And this is starting to get, to me, I don't know about y'all, but this is starting to become ridiculous, how people are blaming him. And there's also a video from Emergency Awesome. Like, these videos I have not saw. I haven't seen. That's not a word. I haven't seen yet. So this is going to be a fresh reaction. You're going to see everything from a fresh perspective. as far as this, and I want to know why are they still blaming Jonathan Majors when the studio could have just recast? Remember that was a big thing. Oh, recast. We could recast Kang. You know, when so and so could be Kang. You know what I'm saying? Anybody could be Kang. But now they're blaming Jonathan Majors. Oh, okay, all right. Especially after everything that we heard. So hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant channel. But you already know how I do. The real question is,
Are you
Say why you hating on my energy? Say why you hating on my energy? I don't think you wanna be my enemy.
all right. And shout out to the homie Jonathan Majors too. Shout out to my guy Jay. He's working on his new movie right now. He ain't got no time for this bull jive that folks are saying or whatever. You know what I mean? Because we all know the truth. So I wouldn't even, I personally did not bother him with this because why? You know what I mean? But I like I said, I got one, and shout out to Junior Network for sending me this one. How Jonathan Majors destroyed the Marvel's multiverse plan, and then we got Emergency Awesome, Marvel's worst nightmare. They used Jonathan Majors Kang for the thumbnail. I got to see what they're talking about, but before I get into that, let me see all these magnificent people that's up in the chat today. Again, shout out to Blue for that. Prince Seta, good morning. My man Eddie Foster, good morning. Marley Mard is up in here. Marley Mard, what's up? Good morning. I'm still gonna get around to watching that film. It's just at work is been work. You can feel me on that. Xavier Phoenix, good morning. Y Arc, good morning. Torian Rain Reloaded is up in this piece. Good morning, my brother. Wavy Thames is up in here. What's up? Good morning. Erica D, aka She Loves Fantasy, is up in here. Good morning. My girl Sharita is up in here. Hey y'all. That's that country talk. Hey y'all, you want some of my butter biscuits? I got a good thing of honey sauce for you. Nah, I just playing. What's up, Sharita? Tracy Woods is up in here. Good morning. Black Panthro, what's good? Is up here. What's up? It's familiar faces I like seeing pop up every now and again. And Black Panther is one of them. What's up? Azelle Ray, good morning. Y Arc, good morning. Executive Judge, good morning. Oh, we got some video. We got a video. I don't know. I just reading the thumbnail and Emergency Awesome. I want to hear what you got to say. But yeah, we gonna find out. And like I said, Wavy Things, we know the truth. Forrest McLeod is up here. My guy, what's up, Forrest? Rashad Walker's up here. Good morning, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Junior Network is up here. This is who sent me the first video. We gonna get into it. But before we get into it, we're gonna shout out, of course, all the people that's a part of the magnificent crew. You already know who you are. Stand up, because you guys help a brother out so much with this channel. Let's go. Let me congratulate y'all for what y'all do. Hold up. Wait a minute. Whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching, and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you know you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that have been holding it down for Dre Mack and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye. All right, and again, shout out to all of the crew members that hold it down for Dre Mac. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Mike Bree TV is up in here. Sean, is it Bickham? Yeah, I say it right. If I said it wrong, forgive me. I'm slow. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My man Sheed is up here. Good morning, good morning. Jay Word is up here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And of course, we up in here with butter biscuits galore. Oh, it's oh man, it's so much butter biscuit activity out there. You man, what up, Tommy? What's good with you, yo? My man, what's up? But like, oh yeah, trust me, it's some butter biscuit activity going up here. Look at everybody, coming in. Enrique, good morning. Enrique, good morning. Nah. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. My man Greater and the other admin, along with Robin D. Good morning, good morning, good morning. But nah, it's a lie. You gotta, man, I'm trying to tell you, besides the character that we watched on yesterday, you gotta watch this butter biscuit activity, boy. What, man? It's a lot of butter biscuit activity that want to be a part of the want to be a part of the crew, but you can't. You too big. That biscuit's too big to be a part of the crew. You'd never, ever, ever be a part of the crew with me when you're part of the butter biscuit activity. Never. And trust me, it's some brothers out here. I'd be wondering if there's all that butter biscuit didn't add up to the numbers. Because it was somebody who was butter biscuit and get dropped, at me. And my numbers in the morning beat their numbers at night. So all that butter biscuit activity, all that grifting. Is it paying off? Is you getting fat? And I don't mean pretty hot and tempting. Are you getting fat off the grifting? Probably not. So you probably need to lose that weight, lose all that grifting. Stop it. Just stop. All right. A little bit of what up, my man Rain Corian. What's up? So let me get into some a little bit of news on tomorrow. I gotta take my son to his appointment. It is at the time that I do the show. So what I'm going to do tomorrow is have a pre-recorded show for you guys to watch tomorrow. This is going to be the last Death Battle Friday that I'm gonna do. So it's going to be pre-recorded. So if you watch this on X, you're still going to get it on X at 7:30. Is going the actual video, and hopefully YouTube does it right when I'm done, because sometimes YouTube be tripping. But the video will pop up, you know what I'm saying, at 7:30 on tomorrow. It's going to be a video. It's going to be pre-recorded because babies come first. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no baby. He's 10. But, he comes first. So, so on tomorrow, you're going to get Death Battle Friday, the last Death Battle Friday, maybe for a while or whatever until we figure some things out or whatever, or maybe this thing hits. I don't know. But it will be pre-recorded. So I won't be live tomorrow, just to let you guys know. Exactly, person. I mean, you said it as correctly as you possibly can. What up, Tina, aka Mintygasm? What's up? My girl Tina represent the shot. You know what I mean? But before we get into why people are still blaming Jonathan Majors and not the studio, I can't wait to react to this. Before we get into that, let me go into a quick commercial break. I'll be right back with more of the Dre Mac Show.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. To put that honey sauce on me, I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
We now return to the Transformers.
All right. Let's get to this video. let me just say it like this: the people who are new to my channel, I have met Jonathan Majors, befriended Jonathan Majors. Me and Jonathan Majors are, you know what I'm saying, we cool like that, we chill like that. You know what I'm saying? We vibe like that, we rock like that. That's my guy. Um, and the last time we had a conversation, you know, when we talked about, you know, what he wants to do, all he wants to do is act. And this is not something that hasn't been said. Um, what's up, Roger Heron? What's up? What's up? This is not something that hasn't been in the media or anything like that. But all he wants to do is do his craft. He loves his craft. And it just kills me how much of abuse he's taken since somebody fired him over him being chased. I just talked to a brother about this last night. I was like, I don't know about you, but I have not seen a threatening son of a gun who is being chased by, this is just me personally, by a white woman. I'm just saying that's the least threatening mofo that I'm gonna find out here in the world. You know what I'm saying? I will find that less threatening. You know what I mean? So, you know, and the way that the trial happened and all of that, and it was all bull crap, orchestrated by Alvin Bragg, as far as the Manhattan District Attorney's Office pushing a feminist movement so he could be able to get votes. This is something that is well documented in my videos about Alvin Bragg. You know what I mean? So I am Waffles. What's up? Good morning. So this is just something that I felt. This is my feelings. It's not, well, that part. It is facts in that, because I broke down how he went after Adam Foss, who is a civil rights attorney. Somebody, Alvin Bragg. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like Jonathan Majors or not does not make me none. It doesn't. I don't care. But when I talk about Alvin Bragg and what he's done, you know what I mean? Especially to Kevin Porter Jr., who got the same case as Jonathan Majors, who got the same thing, and they infiltrated. They basically told that girl that we're just going to make something up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make something up to go after Kevin Porter Jr. This is Alvin Bragg's office. And shout out to Lauren Victoria Burt, LV Burt, and Roland Martin, who broke that stuff down and got that out there. You know what I'm saying? Roland Martin and his team, along with Lauren Victoria Burt, to show you what Alvin Bragg's office is doing. Who, if I was in New York, I'd be voting them out. But that's just me, though. That's just me. Because I keep telling people your local government got way more power over you than your federal in government. But that's another story for another day. And yes, Torian, I felt it in my spirit. So Michael Johnson, what's up? What's up? So when people get to going off about him, I always say, well, you're gonna go off about Jonathan Majors and Jonathan Majors the problem and all of this and all of that. You know, I stopped watching the channel because they called him a criminal. Like, okay, so Jeremy Renner, oh, Josh Brolin, oh, William Hurt. I mean, the beat goes on if we want to keep going down a rabbit hole. But see, they don't focus on that. They focus on, you know, because Jonathan Majors was low hanging fruit. But let's get to this video. Let's see what this video was talking about real quick. And we're going to go to emergency awesome video too and see what they're talking about. And like I said, they love to take a black man down at the top of his game, especially after he's coming off of Creed. Damn, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He was coming off of Creed, and the hype from Creed went over to Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania. Just think about that. Oh, learn about William Hurt's DV pass, executive judge. Trust me.
Avengers Endgame, it faced a nearly impossible challenge. How do you follow up the biggest cinematic event in history?
And this is from Bullets and Blockbuster. This got well over 143,000 views. So this is what we're gonna react to. Let's see what they talking about. Let's see what they talking about. I'm gonna start all the way over again. Let's see what they talking about. Was it Creed after Quantumania? No, Creed was before. Or was it? Was it? I thought Creed. What's up, Robin D? I thought Creed. No, Creed was first, then Quantumania, because he was on the. Wasn't he on the press tour for Quantumania when this came out? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Devotion, Creed, and Quantumania. Creed came out in March. Okay. Okay.
When Marvel wrapped up Avengers Endgame, it faced a nearly impossible challenge. How do you follow up the biggest cinematic event in history? The answer was the Multiverse Saga, an ambitious, interconnected storyline that would stretch across films and Disney Plus shows, with Kang the Conqueror positioned as the next overarching villain to rival Thanos. At the center of it all was Jonathan Majors, an actor Marvel bet big on, casting him as not just one character, but as countless variants of Kang across multiple timelines and realities. But what began as Marvel's bold new chapter soon unraveled, the result of creative missteps, poor reception, and a real-world scandal that forced the studio to abruptly shift course. To find out how it all went wrong, let's take a look.
Let's you know what? I've always said when people talk about Jonathan Majors, they talk about the real-world scandal. They never bring up the actual facts. First of all, this man is that whole chapter of his life is over. That whole entire chapter is over in his life. Let's just put that out there. The man did what he was supposed to do as far as the classes. He did everything he's supposed to do. That's over. He's with Megan. He's over there, with workout gear right now and working on new movies. And, of course, I got to train him. You know what I'm saying? To show him what to do with the pistol. And my assistant was there. Y'all seen the video. I ain't going to have to show my face. But it's still, his chapter is over with. So why is this guy still blaming him? And look, I'm going to show you. Like I said, Jonathan Majors admits to strangling ex-girlfriend in newly unearthed audio. But what they is that from our good friend Cheyenne White Tree? Because it looks, but what they won't tell you is that nobody can verify that audio too. But I'll keep going. I'll keep going.
Went wrong, let's take a look at how Jonathan Majors destroyed Marvel's multiverse.
Yeah, True Threat gonna be dope.
The first two Ant-Man films were released in the aftermath of major Avengers blockbusters and were seen as light comedic palate cleansers. But for the third installment, director Peyton Reed had bigger ambitions. He didn't want to make another breather between epic stories. He wanted Ant-Man 3 to feel like an Avengers-level event. And to do that, he needed a villain worthy of the Avengers. However, what struck him as interesting was taking the tiniest Avenger, and in some people's minds the least powerful one, Ant-Man, and putting him up against the most powerful force in the multiverse.
And somehow, some way, that's Jonathan's fault. Zinga, what's up? You send the link to this video. I'll post a link to this video after a live stream.
Kang. To bring that kind of character to life, they needed an actor with extraordinary range, someone capable of portraying wildly different versions of the same person, since Kang exists as countless variants across the multiverse. Jonathan Majors had been on Marvel's radar for some time, quietly impressing the studio with his work, particularly in The Last Black Man in San Francisco. When it came time to cast Kang, they realized they had already found their actor, and while Marvel saw no need for an audition, they still needed to get the approval of both Quantumania director Peyton Reed, as well as Loki writer Michael Waldron.
So what cracks me up is that anytime they talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp in the Quantumania, they never blame Peyton Reed. They never blame the writers. They never blame whoever was part of the editing cast to even have Jonathan Majors' version of Kang even go out like that at the very end of the movie. Oh, is that his fault? And then, according to Kevin Feige, they wanted to go with Doom all along. So you see how this stuff, there's no concrete information to that stuff. Here is concrete data that we know. Here's what we know, not what we think, what we know, or not what we want to push as far as a narrative, what we know.
Director Kate Herron, since Majors was set to debut in Loki as the variant known as He Who Remains. Marvel originally had no concrete plan for the multiverse saga to center around Kang, but that changed during the development of Loki. Head writer Michael Waldron and his team wanted the series to end with a major impact on the larger MCU, and as they crafted the multiversal war mythology, Kang naturally emerged as the perfect figure behind it all. The character's time-traveling, reality-shifting nature made him an ideal choice for a saga that would span multiple timelines and dimensions. Alliance. Once Marvel saw Jonathan Majors' performance as He Who Remains, along with early dailies for Quantumania, the decision was made. Kang wouldn't just be a one-off villain, he would become the central threat across phases 4, 5, and 6. Majors' debut as He Who Remains was designed to only scratch the surface of Kang's true menace. The version that appeared in Loki was intentionally restrained, more eccentric and enigmatic than outright evil, with the real danger lying in the promise of who else might come. It was a calculated move to hint at the terrifying potential of Kang without revealing too much too soon. The creative team knew they were placing enormous weight on the finale, but head writer Michael Waldron admitted he could breathe a sigh of relief knowing they had Majors, as they had hung a lot of their hopes on him. Despite only appearing in the final episode, Majors made an immediate and lasting impact. It was our
I know I was super excited. If you were super excited to see Jonathan Majors as He Who Remains in Loki, put it in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all was excited about seeing Jonathan Majors in Loki, because I know I was. I was extremely excited seeing this brother, on Lovecraft Country, seeing The Harder They Fall, all of that. I was excited. If you was excited, put a 1 in the chat.
Final week of filming, literally, and he came in and blew us all away, said Tom Hiddleston. Co-star Sophia DiMartino echoed the sentiment. As soon as he was on set, he was phenomenal. Like, no one could take their eyes off of him.
Hold on, wait a minute. If I'm not mistaken, and you guys who've been rocking with me ever since the trial, ever since all of this stuff cracked, if you've been rocking with me since then, was it the rumor was Jonathan Majors was so hard to work with on set that Jonathan Majors was a problem? He was problematic on set. Judah Vision, what's up? Good morning. But for those who rocked with me during the trial and before, didn't they say Jonathan Majors was a problem on set? Now, all of a sudden now, he was just the greatest person that ever lived on set. You see what I mean? They can't, I'm tell you, and a lot of people who do videos like this don't want to go back and get any concrete evidence. You know what I mean? They don't want to give any concrete evidence to that. What's up, Mario Faith Warrior? Good morning. But see, this is how they shift narrative. Now this stuff is done. Now we have a revisionist history. I ain't got revisionist history. We're going to point it out.
Knew something magical was happening. Majors would get to show his range in the post-credit scene of Quantumania, where he plays several members of the Council of Kangs as they convene to discuss the apparent death of the Exiled One. However, Quantumania made a critical misstep when it came to establishing Kang as a major threat. It showed him being defeated far too early. While it was left ambiguous whether this particular variant died or not, the impact is the same, introducing a supposed...
So, instead of putting Peyton Reed's destroys Marvel multiverse plans by having the big bad of this get tossed up like a chump, which technically I kind of felt that a little bit on Fantastic Four. It literally kind of felt like the same ending to Ant-Man and the Wasp of the Quantumania. Now y'all can beat me up about that, but Jonathan Majors going to his character going into some quantum port, you understand, to get defeated. The planet eating Galactus gets sucked into a vortex to go to another. Is it that not the same ending? And let's be real. Let's be honest. We came to see Kang the Conqueror when we see Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantumania. I love Paul Rudd to death. You know what I'm saying? I believe he's I think he's from our metro area. But you know what I mean? But we came for Kang. We came for Kang. We didn't come for Ant-Man. We already had Ant-Man. We came to see if Kang was going to do Kang things. And instead of having even the OG Ant-Man, if you know Michael Douglas is going to start wrapping up his film career, have him die at the end of this. Have some stakes. All I said was the difference between phases 3, especially with the Infinity War, Endgame and Infinity War was there were stakes. There were stakes leading up to it because we seen people getting dusted away after Thanos made his stab. So we seen it in 2 movies before we said it in Ant-Man, we see it in Captain Marvel. Yeah. And then bam. We're going into Endgame because like we like, dang, he really did it. He really snapped these people out. But did we get anything like that on that level of stakes? No. So if you're just going to defeat them in because multiverse, any version come out at any time or what, any version can come out besides T'Challa. Is all I'm saying, man. You wrote yourself into that. But they're not blaming Peyton Reed. They're not blaming Marvel Studios or Disney's interference in that. No, blame Jonathan Majors, the guy who got fired.
Unstoppable villain, only to have him lose in his first major appearance undercuts his menace, especially when he's beat by one of the weakest Avengers. It's a problem seen before, like in Iron Man 2, where in Whiplash's first appearance, he's quickly defeated by Iron Man on the racetrack, instantly weakening his credibility as a villain, or Man of Steel, where General Zod, a fearsome military leader, is overpowered by Jor-El, a scientist in the film's opening minutes. When the audience sees a villain lose right away, the sense of danger is diminished. The same applied to Kang, and for a character meant to surpass even Thanos in scale and threat, that early defeat may have done real damage to how seriously audiences took him.
So he named Marvel Studios doing this to countless villains across various amount of movies, and somehow, some way, he made this video how Jonathan Majors destroyed the multiverse plan, Marvel's multiverse plans. What's up, Jairus? Y'all see what I'm saying? They showed you Marvel has been doing this, but somehow, some way, it's Jonathan Majors' fault. Let's keep going.
Considering at the beginning of Infinity War, the filmmakers did the opposite and had Thanos defeat Hulk. Originally, the multiverse saga was set to culminate in an ambitious showdown between the Avengers and multiple variants of Kang the Conqueror in a film titled Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Allegedly, the plan involved splitting the Avengers into separate teams to battle 3 distinct Kangs, Immortus, Centurion, and Rama-Tut, across different timelines.
Hey, Miss Roberta.
We also allegedly would have learned that the Kang variants feared Doom and intentionally kept him out of the conflict, agreeing to sideline him to protect their own grip on power. Only after their eventual defeat would Doom be revealed as the looming danger they had all tried to suppress, setting the stage for the next saga. After Quantumania, Majors seemed poised to become one of Hollywood's next major stars. He'd follow it up with Creed 3, starring alongside Michael B. Jordan, another Marvel alum who also portrayed one of the franchise's most iconic villains, Killmonger in Black Panther. The two spoke openly about their creative chemistry, and even floated the idea of becoming this generation's De Niro and Pacino, starring together in multiple films across genres. Their dynamic in Creed 3 was electric, and with the multiverse now a central part of Marvel's storytelling, allowing alternate versions of characters from other dimensions to appear, the possibility of their Marvel characters crossing paths became a real possibility. Even though Killmonger was killed in Black Panther, a variant could still appear, setting the stage for the two to potentially share the screen in a future Marvel film.
It's funny how we can get variants of Killmonger, we can get variants of everybody else besides T'Challa. What? But I wanted to get to the crux of this. How we're blaming Jonathan Majors.
However, 1 month after Quantumania hit theaters, Jonathan Majors was arrested on charges of assault, strangulation, and harassment following a domestic dispute with his former girlfriend. In the weeks that followed, he was dropped by both his management company, Entertainment 360, and his public relations firm, The Lead Company. After his eventual conviction, Marvel officially severed ties with Majors, removing him from all future roles as Kang. And while many thought that the role would be recast, Marvel was already second-guessing Kang as their new big bad.
They were already second-guessing Kang along, according to Kevin Feige, way before Jonathan Majors got in trouble.
Quantumania was released, it proved to be a critical and commercial disappointment. Allegedly, the underwhelming reception took Marvel by surprise and was unsettling enough to spark internal doubts about whether Kang was the right villain to anchor the multiverse saga.
So, if we go back and look at it, let's be honest. Look at everybody in the chat. Can we be honest? Can we be honest for a second? This is titled How Jonathan Majors Destroyed the Marvel's Multiverse Plans, right? Peyton Reed decided to make Yellow Jacket MODOK in the movie. So we just going to excuse MODOK, or maybe some of the shoddy CGI work that was in there, or maybe the underwhelming movie, or having Cassie Lang be the one who opened up a quantum tunnel so they all could get sucked into, but had a problem with Riri Williams making a suit. Y'all got to get up out of here with that foolishness. Y'all got to get up out of here with that foolishness. But again, did you see how he used the Hollywood Reporter's assault and harassment? And I explained it was a misdemeanor. It was reckless assault and a CD citation of harassment that was not even a crime. He actually got convicted of reckless assault. That is it. And he got a ticket for harassment. They won't tell you that because we got to blame Jonathan Majors because my multiverse saga is ruined because of you. Not Kevin Feige, who wanted Doom all along. Not the writing. Not the CGI on MODOK's face. Not the trash-ass writing that went throughout that movie. There's bad stuff in that movie. The movie was not good. The standout was Kang until you had him go out like a chump. Where everybody's like, what is this at the end of the movie? Because I know I did. But yet somehow, some way, that's Jonathan's fault.
Feige would later say, even before what had happened to Jonathan Majors, we had started to realize that Kang wasn't Thanos. We had started talking about Doctor Doom even before we officially pivoted from Kang.
And they don't really understand how dope Kang is. But you're not going to do that because the studio is too busy hiring people who don't know comics. It has came out of their own mouths themselves. Kevin Feige, the one who was out here sneaking in X-Men comics to Hugh Jackman and some of the other crew to say, oh, this is how the character acts in the comics, don't want to hire comic, people who know about these characters and actually, or fans of this genre. You just hire just anybody to write it. That's why Blade ain't off the ground right now. You see what they doing with Armor Wars while Monica Rambeau was sitting over there. Luke Cage, one of the highest rated shows on Netflix, can't even get off the ground because I know what you're really afraid of. So stop it.
In fact, I had started talking with Robert Downey Jr. about this audacious idea before Ant-Man 3 ever came out. It's also worth noting that following the Infinity Saga, Marvel began to lose the near-flawless momentum it had built over the previous decade. While there were still major hits like Spider-Man No Way Home and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the studio also faced a growing number of misfires, both critically and commercially, with projects like The Eternals, The Marvels, and several Disney Plus series like She-Hulk failing to capture the same level of excitement.
Whose fault is that? Is that Jonathan Majors' fault or is it Disney's? Disney owns Marvel. So it's going to go from, they say the crap rolls downhill. So Disney pooped it out. Marvel went and put it in production. You know what I mean? And then that's not Jonathan's fault. That's Disney's fault. That's Marvel Studios' fault. For having instead of having quality products that you can sit back and be like, okay, I can see what we're building. Instead of having that, this is what we're doing. And somehow, again, this is how Jonathan Majors destroyed the Marvel's multiverse plans. Not Peyton Reed, not that trash-ass script, not that trash-ass ending. Stop it.
Excitement. Audiences began expressing fatigue over the sheer volume of content, and the once tightly connected universe started to feel bloated and directionless. Behind the scenes, concerns grew that Jonathan Majors, though undeniably talented, wasn't the biggest box office draw to carry the franchise into it.
That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. Not that he said it because he said this is what they felt, but that's bullcrap because he was the standout star. And I'm not about to act like, you know what I'm saying, that I don't remember people was coming out of the movie theaters talking about how good Jonathan Majors' performance was. They just didn't like the way, again, blaming Jonathan Majors and not the writing. Blaming Jonathan Majors and not the editing. Because there's no way in hell that I'm getting ready to set up Kang the Conqueror as the next Thanos level threat. It's just the next big level threat. Damn Thanos, the next big level threat, and then have him go out by gigantic Buick-sized ants. You know, where you see him destroying people, wiping them out the timeline. And then you go up against ants and can't wipe them out. I would have killed them ants, Ant-Man, Ant-Man's girlfriend, Ant-Man's mama. Everybody got to go. My fofo make sure all your kids don't grow. So what I would have did.
Next phase. In response, Marvel concocted a radical idea to bring back their most iconic star, Robert Downey Jr., and reintroduced him not as Iron Man, but in a shocking twist as Dr. Doom. As a result, Marvel decided to move up the Doom storyline and replace Kang, while changing the title of the next Avengers film from Kang Dynasty to Doomsday. The move generated massive buzz, but also its fair share of criticism. While there's no doubt that Doomsday will succeed at the box office thanks to the return of fan favorite Downey, the decision also feels cheap and creatively hollow. Rather than taking the time to develop compelling new villains or build fresh narrative momentum, Marvel is relying on nostalgia and star power to patch over deeper issues.
I did a whole video about this, and he's absolutely right. How were you going to bring out Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom when you could have just recast Kang and finished the story? And I always said this, by the time Avengers Doomsday comes out, it would have been years after all that is. Nobody's talking about Jonathan Majors like that no more. If you look at social media, like I'm using the shade room, just use it as a small barometer of what people are saying. They love them Megan and Jonathan right now. They love Megan and Jonathan right now. They're working out, they're having fun, she's laughing, she's having a good time. You know what I'm saying? All of that. What's up, Kimiko? You know, but they're having a good time. They're enjoying themselves, and nobody's thinking about Jonathan Majors getting chased by the Jabari tribe member. Nobody's thinking about that. Nobody cares no more. Nobody cares because here in America, we have short-term memory anyway. We don't went off of Jonathan, and we're on Trump. When we're not on Trump, we on something, we on Diddy. If we're not, no, we're not on Diddy. Pause. Yeah. This ain't the baby oil hour. But I'm just saying, you see what I mean? We are off of that. So even if you would have rehired Jonathan Major, we wouldn't even blinked. We wouldn't have cared because we know the story you're trying to tell. And we were like, okay, maybe they're just, had him cool off. We're going to bring him back like they did James Gunn. But I personally hope that his career just goes even better than what it had in the beginning, personally.
It signals a lack of confidence in their newer characters and a reluctance to move forward without leaning on past successes. In the long run, it risks turning the MCU into a carousel of recycled icons instead of a platform for bold, original storytelling. Despite the controversy surrounding Majors, Loki Season 2 was not rewritten to address or remove his presence. According to executive producer Kevin Wright, the story seen on screen is exactly what was originally planned, with no changes made in response to Majors' arrest, which occurred after filming had already wrapped. However, the way the season ends speaks volumes about Marvel's shifting internal priorities. Rather than positioning Kang or any of his variants as the looming multiversal threat, the finale focuses entirely on Loki's transformation. After getting new time-slipping abilities, Loki takes control of the multiverse itself.
If you think these people didn't change that ending, I got a beachfront property in Idaho to sell you. Complete brand. I'm talking about beautiful beachfront property in Idaho. If you believe that malarkey they just said. They changed that ending because of Jonathan Majors. That's not you're trying to create a threat, not Loki holding up the new multiversal tree. Get out of here with this mess. That we know Marvel Studio changed that.
At the end of time, on a throne, and holding the timelines together indefinitely.
They're very cold.
Marvel with
and potato-y.
They chose to move away from Kang altogether. Whether intentional or not, the finale gave Marvel a built-in off-ramp, a quiet but clear sign that they were already starting to distance themselves from the Kang-centered direction. In the end, Marvel's grand plan to build the multiverse saga around Jonathan Majors and Kang unraveled almost as quickly as it began. Despite the fallout, Majors later revealed he had written a letter to Kevin Feige, expressing both his disappointment and continued admiration vision for Marvel and the character of Kang. I'm watching them, he said. I'm pulling for them. If they need me, they know where I'm at. Whether Marvel ever takes him up on that offer remains unclear. But for now, with Loki holding the multiverse together and Doctor Doom poised to take center stage, Marvel has effectively pruned Kang and the actor once meant to define its future from its sacred timeline. Thanks for watching, everybody, and don't.
That is not Jonathan's fault, and I think that was more of a clickbaity, just personally to me, more of a clickbaity type of title for that, because it still didn't prove that Jonathan is the one who destroyed it. What it sounds like is Kevin Feige and Marvel deciding to do something different. That's what it sounds like, and that had nothing to do with Jonathan Majors and what he had going on. But let me pull up Emergency Awesome, because he just posted a video last night that says Marvel's worst nightmare with Jonathan Majors as Kang. Why are they going after my man Jay? What'd he do to you? What'd he do? Then God, it was a lot of trash. Yeah, dang.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. There's been a lot of talk about Fantastic Four's performance at the box office, or how it's not performing, and how it's really bad news for Marvel going forward. Their worst nightmare is coming true. I'll explain what that is. Not exactly the nightmare that you're expecting.
I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth, and this gonna sound funny to some of y'all who's new to the channel. But man, when y'all did Chadwick Boseman, when y'all use him to promote your movie, when you did a good majority of your black characters, the way that you've done them, especially the ones who got attacked just by being black online, and you didn't come out and say anything, your downfall is inevitable, because you can't mess with God's chosen children. Sorry.
But it is one of the reasons why Marvel is so happy that people are excited about Spider-Man Brand New Day right now, and why Marvel is so cool letting all the footage come to the internet now of them filming scenes right now. I've even done a couple Spider-Man videos recently. Marvel loves that because they've gotten so much goodwill from those Spider-Man scenes that they're no longer nearly as concerned with the underperformance of Fantastic Four at the box office.
So
there's a lot to unpack here.
So why is Kang on as the thumbnail is my question. Yep, Nick Fury. I'm just saying.
Because even Herbie is kind of worried about what's happening next.
What's up to
Disney CEO Bob Iger and Kevin Feige have already
Good morning.
commented on how all these things affect Marvel's larger plans going forward for the movies. I don't usually do box office analysis videos for movies because they tend to be very, very dry. But I think it's important in this case, particularly with what's happening with Fantastic Four and generally their movies in 2025, and how all this bad news and underperformance is causing them to change their plans for the future of all the movies and TV shows multiple times the past couple of years. Like, there have been big changes after Secret Invasion cratered Marvel interest. But you remember, they've actually made more changes multiple times since then. Like, they literally just delayed Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars a bunch. So it's kind of been...
So you're telling me that, again, I just don't like the fact that they use Jonathan Majors' character, Kang, and said Marvel's worst nightmare. I have an unsettling feeling about that. I don't know why yet. It's going to come to me. But it's going to come to me. But what you should have did is let everything cool off. You see how Spider-Man is on here swinging it. Everybody said about Spider-Man. I can't believe it's Spider-Man. And nobody's going to tell you. Again, as much as I like Fantastic Four, it ended like Quantumania. I don't care what y'all say. I like Fantastic Four. But it ended like Quantumania. And if Quantumania was a bad ending, we can all agree on that, because you're setting up the big bad to get, eliminated like a chump. I mean, it wasn't as bad, because Sue Storm, pushed Galactus with the help of the Silver Surfer into the transportal portal or whatever on the other side of the galaxy. wasn't as bad, but still, this is you could have ate that world, and we could have been looking at real things like, oh snap, you know what I mean? And then that could have caused an incursion and all of it. And there's so many things you could have done, but you gave me a teaser trailer for Doom with a hoodie on from the back. Pause. No, I don't like it. It's something this don't feel right. And Tracy Willis, thank you for the $10 super chat. Did you have anything to say, or make sure to put it in the back in the chat if you have something to say? But I appreciate the $10 super chat. Lavish Struggle, what's up? Let me go ahead and hook you up. What I got, I already know.
Gang bang, gang bang, gang bang.
You are truly amazing. Gang Thank you for your super chat.
Gang bang, gang bang.
All right, let's keep going. Keep going. My spidey senses is tingling.
Been a bad year at the box office for Marvel just in general because of Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts underperforming, now Fantastic Four underperforming. It doesn't mean that Marvel is cooked, but it does mean there are some bigger changes coming to Marvel in the next several years. We will explain what's going on. Kevin Feige has already detailed a lot of these changes. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. As a lot of you have probably guessed, it's ironic now how badly Marvel now needs Spider-Man Brand New Day to perform next year because it's their last chance to build hype for Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. They really, really need that strong lead-in to Avengers Doomsday.
You're going to have Avengers Doomsday. You have Spider-Man a lead up into Avengers Doomsday, right? You show Doom at the end of Fantastic Four, but Doom is in the 828 universe. Follow along with me. Spider-Man is in the 616 or 19999999999 East 99 Eternal, right? So in what we know so far, Mr. Negative is going to be in here. There's actually the dragon symbol for Mr. Negative has been seen on set. Where there's rumors the Hulk is going to be in here. We already seen the Punisher is going to be in here. How in the whole entire flub is this leading into Doom? What is going on? I don't get it. Professor Film Fan, what's up?
This is why you're seeing Marvel be so cool with all the Spider-Man stuff that's leaking from Brand New Day onto the internet right now. Like, they just please let it all get out there. People are having fun, enjoying Marvel stuff. They're getting hyped up about Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is why Marvel is so cool with all the Spider-Man pictures and set videos coming to the internet right now.
I want Spider-Man!
A really good comparison to make would be Christopher Nolan's Odyssey movie. I tried to make a video for that trailer that they only released in theaters a couple weeks ago. It stars a bunch of Marvel actors, including actors that are also in Spider-Man Brand New Day, like Tom Holland and John Bernthal. Universal tried to block that movie instantly a number of times. I was able to keep it up, but I had to edit the video in really weird ways to get the copyrighted stuff out of it. But when it comes to Marvel and all the Spider-Man stuff hitting the internet, they're totally cool with it just because they need all that juice, all that hype. This is one of the clever things that Marvel also does, like studio orchestrated leaks just to build hype for movies. This year in 2025, as of me posting this video,
again, we're about 3 minutes into the video. I'm trying to figure out why Jonathan Majors' version of Kang is in the thumbnail. Maybe I need to be patient. I need to be patient because, for what I understand, unless their worst nightmare was not firing Jonathan Majors, or if you're gonna fire him, hire him back and finish the movie you were gonna do anyway. I'm just saying. What's up, May Kent? What's up? Do you see how many people are in this chat? Remember how you asked about moving away from Death Battle Fridays? This is why. Exactly. All right, let's keep going.
It's a huge reversal of Sony and Marvel's relationship. Very ironic from when they first signed the sharing deal to get Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Captain America Civil War to do the MCU Spider-Man solo movies in the first place. You'll remember Sony really needed Marvel more than Marvel needed Spider-Man. Now it's totally reversed. Marvel absolutely needs Spider-Man. way more than Sony needs Marvel now. Spider-Man Brand New Day is not guaranteed to earn over $1 billion, but I do think it's going to earn more money than Deadpool and Wolverine did, which would be at least $1.4 billion. I'll talk more about that during my Spider-Man specific videos. There are a couple things that they're doing with the way they cast the movie and what they're doing in the movie to stack the deck in their favor.
Exactly, Pam.
The reason why everyone is now talking about the Fantastic Four in Marvel's worst nightmares coming true are because it's looking like it's going to earn less money than, say, Captain America Brave New World did. Captain America being the highest earning Marvel movie of 2025, despite everybody reviewing Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four much, much better, more favorably. If you
And it's funny that Captain America Brave New World made more money. I thought Thunderbolts was a bet. I personally, just me. Well, I think I personally thought Thunderbolts was a better overall movie than Fantastic Four and most definitely Brave New World. You know, even the ending got me hyped. The end of the Fantastic Four did not get me hyped at all. There were certain parts of Fantastic Four which it was very good acting, very good dialogue, was just like a days ago when you're trying to get me. I'm supposed to get excited about incursions and Doom War and all of that. None of that has got me excited. When I seen that Fantastic Four ship at the end of the Thunderbolts, I was like, oh, snap, they finally doing something. This was my exact words in the theater. And then I see Doom at the end of that, but with the baby touching his face. I'm like, okay, and what? Oh, there goes Doom. Ooh, okay. I don't have the level of excitement as far as a moviegoer. So I don't get it.
Look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Both the audience and the critic scores for Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four are vastly, vastly higher than Captain America Brave New World, but both movies seem like they're going to underperform Captain America Brave New World. What does that mean? Why did that happen?
That's wild.
Based on those critic and audience Rotten Tomatoes scores, it seems like Marvel answered fans' request to make better movies, so then why aren't people going to see those better movies? That is actually Marvel's worst nightmare, is that they make good movies, but still people do not go to see them. It's not.
That's Marvel's worst nightmare. They make good movies, but people don't go see them. Why is Kang in there? Why is Kang your thumbnail? I'm strictly weirded out right now.
Not a mystery when people don't go to see a bad movie. It didn't perform well. People didn't care to go see it because it was bad. But what happens when there's a great movie that people still won't go see? Kevin Feige has already talked about this and why he thinks Thunderbolts and now Fantastic Four are underperforming. Slightly different reasons, but not that different. In the case of Thunderbolts, Kevin Feige blamed the movie doing poorly on the fact that it was built on mostly House of Cards and a lot of Marvel Phase 4 pandemic characters that people mostly saw developed on TV or in really roundabout ways, or they were lesser D-list characters that weren't that hyped up to begin with. Like, it's really hard to get people excited to go spend money, especially a lot of money, on theater tickets for characters that they weren't that excited about before.
Hold up. Let me back up just a little bit. If we all understand what he just said, people, you know, these D-list characters or these characters came from TV shows, nobody was really hyped about seeing them, right? But we were hyped up to see Kang and see Jonathan Majors' performance on screen and what he was going to be able to bring off of what? A television show. I don't care with nobody. I remember how much buzz there was for Jonathan Majors. Now he's about to have his own phase in the next phase. And all the people who were Butter Biscuit and all of that, they were excited about Kane too. All that grifting and all of that stuff, they were excited. They were very much excited about it. So don't get me that, oh, these people aren't excited about a secondary character or whatever, or a new character. Yeah, they were. You destroyed the character by having them go out like a chump. It's just uninteresting. It is very uninteresting to see somebody, we're potentially hyping up like, oh, snap, Kang the Conqueror, and comic book fans making their theories, and Rob like, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Oh, my God, Kang. Oh, God, Kang. And New Rock Stars was like, hey, well, welcome to New Rock Stars. My name is Eric Voss. So let me tell you about Kang the Conqueror. Everybody was doing it. Heavy spoilers. Welcome to the Heavy Spoiler Show. My name is Paul, and we're going to talk about Kang the Conqueror. All of the big channels were doing it. E-Man from E-Man's Movie Review could not wait to talk about Jonathan Majors as Kang. Oh, am I not excited? So don't give me that crap that they can't develop characters. What you did to said character outside of what happened in real life is why nobody cared anymore. And not only that, what did you do to Thor and Thor Love and to Thor Love and Thunder when it came to Gore the God Butcher? Gore the God Butcher is top tier villainy. But you made him a joke in Thor Love and Thunder. Is that whose fault is that? And we've been talking about for years that Marvel has a villain problem. We've been talking about that for years. Now, all of a sudden, these are all these excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses. Oh, yeah, Kang Gang. Yeah, we Kang Gang. So, yeah, what's up, BN? What's up? All I'm saying is you make a, because we got to remember, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I know some comic book fans don't like when I say this, but the Avengers were not the X-Men. If the X-Men was the Bulls, then the Avengers was the Utah Jazz. They were the runner-ups. They were not Spider-Man. They were somebody else. Because those are the top, the X-Men and Spider-Man, top tier. Not saying that Avengers wasn't good or anything, but when we look at the caliber, that's what it is. The X-Men, as far as team, it's always the X-Men up top when it came to Marvel. And then and when it came to solo, it was always Spider-Man. So
there are a lot of things stacking the deck against the Thunderbolts
what's up,
movie.
Gayface Willis?
People point to that whole New Avengers twist at the end. That was not the reason why the movie underperformed. That was just a symptom of a larger problem. Originally, it was conceived as a Black Widow 2 sequel movie, a movie which really didn't demand a sequel to begin with. Like, why do we need a Black Widow sequel? Then when it comes to the hardcore fans, the roster of the Thunderbolts was just vastly, vastly different from anything that people have been asking for. Like, why are you going with this roster? Like, why there's so many super soldiers on the team? What's going on here? So if you want to blame someone for Thunderbolts underperforming, I would actually blame Kevin Feige for greenlighting that movie in the first place. When it comes to Fantastic,
I don't think there's anything. And this is the crazy part. And we talked about this on yesterday. I don't think there's any. No, I think the other day. There's nothing wrong with greenlighting that movie. I disagree with that. Because everybody wanted. Just think about it like this. Everybody wanted Bucky to be the new Captain America. Well, he's featured in this movie, and how did the movie do? It is the way that they're promoting their film. Nobody's excited about Marvel because we've seen Marvel stepping Dookie way too many times. We've seen it over and over again. And again, I go back to what they did to T'Challa. I'm sorry. That was the beginning of the end of Marvel. Because you're selling, and the reason why I said this is not because I didn't, and because I don't want y'all to be putting in the mouth. You just don't want to see a woman as Black Panther. That ain't it. Because Shuri does become a Black Panther in the in the comics, but guess who's still there? T'Challa. Them promoting that movie and using Chadwick Boseman's real life death to be a plot device in that movie, I'm trying to tell you I'm sorry, that's a curse. They put a curse on themselves when they did that. I don't care what y'all say. Because after that, you got Spider-Man that's a Sony project Remember, they brought Spider-Man in, but the standout of Civil War was not Spider-Man. It was Black Panther. Let me repeat that. Y'all can put a 1 in the chat if I'm right. Put a 2 in the chat if I'm wrong. When we go back and we look at Captain America: Civil War, the standout of that movie that everybody was talking about was ding, 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 Chadwick's performance as T'Challa, the Black Panther. That's why the hype for Black Panther was even more once they said we're greenlighting the Black Panther movie. Even though the races up at Disney didn't want it. Let me say that again. Even though the races at Disney did not want to see an all-black film. Why I got to see that? But guess what? Who made $1 billion a solo movie without no guest appearances? Let me not stop quoting. I'm about to start quoting Nas.
For what the box office numbers seem to indicate based on the past couple of weeks it's been out is it performed about as well as Superman opening weekend, which for Marvel right now is great numbers. Like it actually did really decent opening weekend. But then in its second week, Fantastic Four had a massive, massive drop off. One of the worst ones for any Marvel movie.
And again, if you would have stuck to, if they would have did what they did to Jonathan Majors also, because they kept William Hurt. This is why I go so hard on that. You didn't fire William Hurt over, and he had a long history of DV. You didn't fire Jeremy Renner, what he had going on. But y'all fired Jonathan. Or you didn't recast the character to continue the story. You're all over the place. Let me go get Robert Downey Jr. and just throw the Brinks truck at him, and let's see how this works. There's nobody excited about Marvel. We were more excited about Superman, even though maybe Fantastic Four, maybe Thunderbolts is a more superior movie all around, all over. As far as a movie, the structure, the pace, do you know what I'm saying? Sitting on particular moments, maybe was better than Superman. But why was we all excited about Superman? Miss Roberta. Kid with the $10, the gift of 10 memberships. Oh, Lord. If you ain't got no membership, they gave you 10. She gifted. Thank you so very much, Miss Roberta, the church IT. Let me make sure to hook you up.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
You wanna be my enemy.
Thank you so very much for that super chat. And then Robin D with the 1999. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Thank you so very much for the super chat. Let me make sure to hook you up. She said channel support and JM Love. And next time I holler at him, I'll make sure to tell him that you guys are still showing love to him. And I can't wait, honestly, till True Threat comes out. Let me hook you up.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your
Taste the
super chat.
goodness of the biscuit.
All right. Let's keep going. And Wonder Woman is up in here. Wonder Woman! I can't do it no more. But what's up?
What that means is that the hardcore Marvel audience will show up for pretty much anything, but the casual audience and families just are not there anymore. And those are the real people that Marvel needs in order to keep making these $200 million movies. So Marvel's real big problem right now is more with the casual audience not caring about Marvel movies as much. This is why Deadpool and Wolverine can still earn over $1 billion while other Marvel movies around it are just bombing left and right. Both of them are long-time established fan favorite characters with hardcore and casual audiences. Like, people love them. Some Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Regular casuals will show up for that.
I guarantee you like this, and we've said this with Chillmonger, Darius, Marcus for Back of the Bus, me, Blue, we've said if they introduce a new T'Challa, you wouldn't have to. The black community is going to show out. You give us a new T'Challa, and I'm not talking about TJ. I'm saying a actual T'Challa, son of T'Chaka. We will lose our minds, and we'll show up and show out for that movie because we did for the first movie. So don't think we won't, because we will. You know we will.
You save the good stuff for special occasions?
When it comes to the casual audience in the Fantastic Four, most people just remember the big misfire of the 2010s Fantastic Four bomb. It sounds like they were just not intrigued by the whole 1960s period piece of this new movie, or the fact that Pedro Pascal was in it, or even just the rest of the cast in general. So it's kind of an uphill battle all the way with the casual audience in the Fantastic Four movie. Kevin Feige.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you think a lot of that had to do with people, especially the grifters and neurotics and the geeks and gamers and all of that, you know, when they really good, because they bash Pedro Pascal. I don't know what Pedro Pascal has done to some of these folks, but people don't like Pedro Pascal at all. You know what I mean? But do you think some of that has to do with the, you know, we're watching YouTube because the majority of us, you know, watch YouTube and watch these, you know, different channels and stuff like that. Do you think that's something to do with it, or is it, you know, just, I don't know what it is. Put it in the chat. What's wrong with Pedro Pascal?
He probably not super surprised that it did not earn over $1 billion. He probably was not expecting it to earn that much money. But it does show you how much now Marvel needs Spider-Man Brand New Day to give them that mega bump heading into Avengers Doomsday, and those Avengers Doomsday trailers to really, really hit. Now they're really banking on Robert Downey Jr. returning, getting people's butts in seats. This is also why they're so happy to pay him over $100 million for both of these next Avengers movies, because they need him that badly.
That's
what
crazy.
The Disney CEO and Kevin Feige have both said about how
I still don't understand why Jonathan Majors Kang is on here. Maybe their worst nightmare is pivoting away from Kang. But you said no, DEI racism is what's killing Marvel Disney, but they won't admit it openly. Explain that for me, what you mean by that. Because I'm curious about what you mean about that. And again, this is probably why on Fridays, this is the reason why the smoke show is going to come, because I want to hear what you guys have to say outside of the chat. All right, let's keep going.
All this changes Marvel's big plans for the movies going forward is both a combination of rebooting the MCU to make it way easier for brand new audiences to jump on with Marvel after Avengers Secret Wars. Remember, they're losing the casual audience right now. That's what all these box office numbers really show you, is that they're losing casual audiences.
I see, Eric D.
And one of the other biggest changes, and this might seem obvious when you actually think about it, Kevin Feige specifically said they're going to be casting brand new and unknown actors for the upcoming X-Men reboot movie in 2028, specifically to reduce the budget. Marvel cannot keep making $200 million, $250 million movies if they're only going to be earning $400 to $500 million on them at most. Based on what they've said, they're already in the process of doing that for movies after Secret Wars. Like, they're going to open up their purse strings and spend all the money they need to spend to get people hyped up for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. But then they're really going to be pinching pennies after that. Reboot, recast as much as possible with cheaper actors so they can use all their popular characters in the toy box, starting fresh. To make as many Spider-Man puns as possible, a brand new day, fresh start for Marvel after Secret Wars.
Why is Jonathan Majors in the thumbnail? Emergency Awesome? Come on. Sheet. And I think Doomsday, I'm sorry, I'm not hyped for Doomsday now. I wasn't hyped for Doomsday at all, honestly, after they announced Robert Downey Jr. was going to be that, and just the way that they did Jonathan Majors, then the way Kevin Feige called him the actor, or whatever. I'm not hyped for this. I'm just not. You don't make me hyped for this. And again, put in the comment section or put in the chat. Let me know. Do you think if we would have had stakes in these movies where actually people that's not named Taskmaster actually died in here? Put it in the comment section and let me know.
And one of the other things that they're doing going forward is just physically making less movies, releasing less movies and TV shows. That's what happens when you earn less money on your stuff, is you pull way back to optimize your spending. Also gives them way more time to focus on the quality of the things that they do wind up releasing.
I got you, Dave. Hey, Apologetic Simmer.
So even though Fantastic Four right now seems like it's Marvel's worst nightmare coming true, their whole 2025 just all completely underperforming. They really, really need Spider-Man Brand New Day to do crazy numbers next year. This doesn't mean that Marvel is completely over. It just means that we are definitely going to get that reboot after Avengers Secret Wars, and it's going to look very, very different in the MCU just in general after that. Also means the movies that they do wind up releasing will be way more safe bets in terms of titles. Like, you're not going to get quite as much weird stuff like you saw by the time we got to Marvel Phase 3. Most people will lament that that means we might not get weird, cool stuff like Guardians of the Galaxy. If they weren't brave enough to try weird stuff, we would have never gotten that first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So it is possible for them to do brand new weird fringe characters and still perform at the box office, but it's probably going to be a while before Marvel feels confident enough to try and do that again. They kind of tried that through all of Marvel Phase 4, and it did not go well. But everyone, post all your reactions in the comments below. If Marvel's making all these changes going forward based...
I'm sorry. I'm going to end this video early because I just want... Now, I like Emergency also. I've been watching him for a long time when he originally put himself on screen. But look at this as the thumbnail. Why is the thumbnail not Spider-Man? Because the majority of what he talked about was Spider-Man. Why is it Jonathan Majors? And put Marvel's worst nightmare and shows Jonathan Majors as Kang there. You used Jonathan Major and put worst nightmare to sell your video. This is again coming out of the Marvel blueprint of what they did with Chadwick Boseman, using somebody's real life situation to be able to sell a product. I do not like this. That's kind of foul. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's kind of foul. And I'm not, because you made a conscious decision to use that thumbnail. For what? The other guy used Jonathan Major's name. For what? To tell you how bad Marvel Studios has been doing? How bad the writers and all of that are? That had nothing to do with Jonathan Majors. He didn't ruin the multiverse program. Marvel did. And to use this man knowing how some people still feel, which I'm not going to take away their feelings because I know some people still feel the way that they do about Jonathan Majors. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Let me go to it because I got to go to a commercial break. I'll be right back with more. Whew, Lord have mercy. Of the Dre Mac Show.
We'll be right back.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the butter spread. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the butter spread. Get your butter spread all on me. I don't like the way it mixes with my mac and cheese.
We now return to the Transformers.
Well, these people, boy, I put this on everything I love. Some people are wicked. I'm dead serious. Some people are wicked about how they... Anyway, Goddess Jamila, thank you so very much for the $4.99 super chat. You be on point. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be on point like a thumbtack. Appreciate it. Let me go ahead and hook you up. Matter of fact, we're gonna go a little old school for you. I appreciate you. Appreciate it. And then Sean with the $10 super sticker. Thank you so very much. You guys have been like awesome today. Amazing. I appreciate you guys. Matter of fact, I got something for you, Big Sean, with that.
You are truly amazing. Thank you for your super chat.
I'm over here talking about how they be using Jonathan Majors in their thumbnail. I'm over here got Tyrone Madness beating biscuits. Shame. Shame. Bad. But that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying is you see what they doing. And we watched 2 videos that had nothing to do with Jonathan Majors. Why are they using Jonathan Majors? Why are they even blaming him in a title when no, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's not his fault at all. It's the studio's fault for making garbage. Sorry, it's the studio's fault for making garbage. They use Jonathan Majors for clicks and likes because they know how people arouse emotions. That's it. And it's all clickbait. And that's messed up. Not gonna lie. That was kind of messed up. I don't like it. Yeah, so the Biscuit crew is for the people who look like me. Some of them are part of the Saltine crew. That's all I'm gonna say. As soon as I find some commercials, I got y'all. That it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Erica, when you look at that, and they use that man's image, and you put Marvel's worst nightmare, and you put his face on there, or you go back to the other video, and you say, Jonathan Majors is to blame for the multiverse saga, and then you go back, and you look at what he's saying, you actually digest what he's saying, and he said, the studio have been messing up for years, but somehow, some way, I'm going to make this old Jonathan. Nah, well, I said we would not have it. Yeah. Let's wrap this up.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that up, B.
We're going to get up out of here with this, man. I appreciate you guys. I know, but it's YouTube. It's a little different and all of that, but Kimiko's right. It is Thursday's first day, so hug your fur baby today. And make sure you get them spayed and neutered. I'm Bob Barker. I'll see you later. No, I'm just playing. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of The Dre Mac Show. Remember, tomorrow will be a pre-recorded. I would not be live. It will be a pre-recorded video. So make sure that you guys check out the video that I have tomorrow. And because I have to take my son to his appointment, so it's going to be a pre-recorded. So don't be going around saying, where's Dre? I'm here. I'm talking to you. I won't be there. But again, thank you so very much for tuning in to another episode of The Dre Mac Show. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you can never, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'm going to holler at you guys later. Oh. Peace and vibe. What? Let me get up out of here. These people got me frustrated. Where's my outro at? Look, you already know. Fur babies and Thursdays. I gotta go. Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over? What? Huh. Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.